Hi there, my name is Jim Shirley, and in today's video I'd like to talk with you about this concept of author platform. So let's start with talking about what author platform is not. So platform, and I just kind of made a funny bullet point here at the beginning, which is that platform is not something that you stand on. So it's really not like a soapbox or a pulpit or something like that. It's a little bit different than that. And in the case of kind of how I'm presenting it, it's mostly virtual, meaning it takes place on your computer or in the online world. But it doesn't have to be. So it's also not infrastructure. So from the perspective of author platform is in the way that I'm talking about it to you today is not the place where you're selling the books. So it's not iBooks or Amazon. It's not a distribution warehouse or a network of some kind. And it's not something that's just for authors who are published by the likes of Penguin or HarperCollins or the big publishing houses. It's author platform is something that is just as much for, or if not more, for self-published authors than anyone else. So, and then finally, author platform is really a collection of people who follow you, but it doesn't have to be some certain number. So it's not tens of thousands or 100,000 or some big number. It's great if it is that, and that's perfectly fine. But it's not bound on either end. It's just a group of people who follow and like what you do, and that really takes us into the next slide, which where we can talk more about what author platform is. And so I've kind of defined it loosely here in my terms and in what I'm talking about today as having an audience of people or a group of people who are basically your fan. And which I've highlighted here in red on the slide, what makes this group important is that you can communicate directly with them. And so certainly, there are groups and on Facebook, for example, or Google Plus, or on the web and forums or that kind of thing, where there are people who have similar likes to you, or who like the same subject, or like the same characters in your book, or that sort of thing. And those people, while they have similarities with you, or similarities in that they like what you produce, they're not part of your author platform unless you can communicate directly with them, like through their email address, or with them in a circle on Google Plus, or through like they're fans of your page on Facebook. Those are all places where you can write a statement, and everybody who sort of follows you, whether it's through email or Facebook or Google Plus, will see your statement. It's like you can talk directly to them. And these people really become the people who you want to get involved in what you do, whether that's writing books or audiobooks or whatever you do as an author. So screenplays, whatever it is. So these are the people you're going to ask to review your work, to help you choose a title if you'd like, or to help you choose a book cover. And hopefully you've gotten to a point with this audience that you can expect their honest feedback, and it's really like they want to participate in helping you achieve your success. And then lastly, I put here that author platform is part of your personal brand identity. Now, as an author myself, one of the things that I did with my first book was create a book website. And I've done that subsequently for other books as well. But the thing that I've been migrating toward is actually building my own personal brand as an author instead of building the brand of my books. And let me explain why. It's because I write on certain subjects, and I may write several books on that subject. And rather than spending the effort to build up each one of those books as its own brand, it makes a lot more sense to kind of build up my brand as the author. And so certainly you could do this, you want to do this with your name or with your pen name, whatever, wherever you're sort of writing your series. And it doesn't matter if this is fiction or nonfiction. But you want to be building your brand as an author. And so that's something that I think, when we talk about author platform, is a key. So the next question is, should you build an author platform? And I think, in short, you should. In fact, many of the authors that you see that have had some success, sort of out of obscurity, if you will, are authors who were bloggers at first, or who, were popular writers in newspapers and that sort of thing. And what they'd done over time is really built their own platform. And when it finally came time for them to publish a book or write a screenplay, for example, they involved their community. They communicated with that community about what they were doing. And then when it came time to launch, they kind of instantly had that explosion right out of the box of numerous reviews of their book on Amazon, for example, or lots of people sort of driving traffic to their page, tweeting about it and sort of sharing socially. And so that's how it really worked for a lot of people. And but on the flip side, it's not too late if you have already launched your book and you didn't have a platform first. It's not too late to start building your platform now. And in fact, if you're rather unknown, you certainly have something to go out and tell the world about if you have published that book. And so, it's a great time to start building that platform now, so that you can start to drive more sales for the book you have now, or get it in front of more readers if the sales aspect isn't as appealing to you, and really kind of get ready for the launch of a follow-up book or your next project. So with that, let's wrap up, and I'd like to thank you for joining me, and I would like to also invite you to check out my next video, which is going to be kind of an overview, 30,000 foot level, about building your author platform. So please plan on joining me. Thanks for your time.